What's up, everybody? My name's Ethan.
And I'm Heathrow.
And this is Podcast Material. This is a podcast where two friends of 25 years get together and just kind of talk about whatever's on their mind. We'll be talking about silly things. We'll be talking about the way that we're feeling, some things that are happening to us that maybe are making us feel certain ways. And then just, looking for fun topics of conversation to have. So we're glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. And we're just going to kind of ramble on as we do. So we hope you enjoy.
Dude, great intro. Really like that. I think we should stick with that. It works,
Yeah. Yeah.
What should the title of episode 2 be? I was thinking about that a little bit. I was almost like, I have a couple ideas.
Okay.
One I wrote down is, why should you listen to us? Like, it's a topic we could explore of like, why would anybody listen to podcast material?
We're two like pretty regular dudes, I like that. I like yeah, why would anyone listen to us? Is a great title, I think, for it.
Right, like, why would you listen to Heathrow and Ethan?
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
I mean, I think that, folks in our lives enjoy just like sitting by and like listening to the weird shit we say,
Okay, yeah, if you like weird and goofy things, you're in the right place. It's going to be weird. It's going to be goofy.
We definitely bring that energy for sure, I think, in our budship, within the buds.
Our budship, yes.
But I also think like when we have good conversations, when stuff's like going on in our lives, I feel like, we have pretty good conversations about the real stuff. And even if we're not like speaking from like a professionally like a psychologist or a therapist is going to be like, yes, that is sound advice. Like, I think we just speak from like a place of truth in our minds and in our hearts, what we're feeling. And it's like, I think that plays an impact. Like, people want to listen to folks being vulnerable, I think. And I think you and I have like learned how to be vulnerable with each other about like things that we're feeling from other folks in our lives, or the way that we're feeling about the state of the world, or, something that like I said to you or that you said to me. Like, we've had those conversations. So I feel like that's maybe I'm wrong. I feel like it's a little rare for grown men to like have those kinds of conversations openly together, like it's like, and so that might be like part of a reason why someone might resonate with the conversations we have, whether it's silly, whether it's deep. I think that like a genuine connection draws people in.
Dude, I could not have said it better. Hell yeah. Fuck. I don't know how much I want to cuss in the podcast, but fuck. Hell yeah, dude. No, for sure. That open, honest friendship where we're just like, let's just explore some topics. I think even approaching this topic, I was feeling a little bit odd of like, why would anybody listen to us? But digging into it and like tossing around these ideas, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure.
Right. We don't want to talk people out of listening to us.
Yeah. Yes. But we are going to be open and honest, and you're going to get what you get.
Right. Exactly.
We're still thinking about things like the logo, why you should listen to us.
Right.
How do we record a podcast?
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Honestly, that's the biggest barrier oftentimes is just starting. It's just like, I want everything to be perfect. I want to have the best mic. I want to have the best studio. But, even with that stuff, you still have to do the action of podcasting. So let's just practice. Let's jump in and whatever.
Got to get the reps.
Put it out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, last time we started with like a little bit of like a silly icebreaker question too.
I love these, dude. I love these. Keep bringing these.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you had one or if you had thought of one, but I've got one. It's not as like thought provoking, if that's what you want to call the last question.
If you guys want to hear that first icebreaker question, go back to episode 1. It's there. It's good.
It's really deep.
Thought provoking, indeed.
Thought provoking for sure. But this one I've heard a lot. I used to hear a lot when I was like, doing like random groups in high school. Who is your favorite cartoon character that sells cereal. So these cereal brands, they all have, or not all of them, but a good number of them have like a cartoon mascot, whether
I
it's
see.
just for cartoon or whether it's an actual like television cartoon that promotes a cereal brand. It can be anybody.
Okay, yeah. So first to mind, like a good example would be like Tony the Tiger,
Yep. Yep.
right? Just like serial cartoon. Favorite serial cartoon serial character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cartoon serial character?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
And it can be a group too. Like you shouldn't rule out like Snap Crackle and Pop. Like if it's your
Of
favorite,
course.
like I feel like you can go with them.
Man, first thing that comes to mind to me, it is a group actually. I believe it's the Cookie Crisp.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think there were some bandits or some thieves. If I
Mm.
remember correctly, Cookie Crisp. Um,
Well,
let's see
Cookie
here.
Cookie Crisp has had a lot of cartoon representatives.
Really?
Yeah, actually, I learned about this like years ago. Is they've had like a wolf, they've had like a wizard, they've had like a bunch of different mascots.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. This is really interesting. I don't know why this Cookie Crisp character is in my head, but it's a Cookie Crisp. There was a cop. The It was the Cookie Crook. The Cookie Crook. Who remembers the Cookie Crook? It attempts to steal kids' Cookie Crisp cereal with a toy helicopter. A toy
Whoa,
helicopter, but winds up crashing and gets arrested by the Cookie Cop.
dude, dude.
That's him. That's him.
Cops everywhere trying to ruin everybody's day.
Yeah, so it's the
You
it's the
know.
cookie crook. Somehow he resonated with me, and I was just like, man,
Yeah.
cookie crook gets a bad rap.
He was probably just trying to take it because the government was hoarding those cookies.
Dude, right?
He's a
He was
little
like,
Robin Hood.
yo, these kids have enough cookies.
Yeah. And
So
then the cops had to bring a cookie cop. That's so funny.
yeah,
That's
I
so
just looked it
funny.
up, but for some reason, it looks like it's from 1985. I need to go into the Cookie Crisp
Oh.
Wikipedia to learn more about this, though.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You are right about the multiple mascots, though.
Yeah. It was like a dog and a wolf, but they were all different. And then there was a wizard in there somewhere too.
Wow, the wizard. So, oh yeah, yeah. Featuring Cookie Jarvis, dude. Cookie Jarvis the Wizard.
Jarvis.
1984.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Then I feel like when we were kids, it was like a wolf or something. Then.
Okay, so I have the history pulled up here of the Cookie Crisp mascot. So yes, it was Cookie Jarvis, the wizard that you think of, sort of in the Merlin era,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Little like
right?
floppy
Yeah,
pointed hat.
Merlin was huge then, I think.
Big time for Merlin.
Honestly, dude, in the early 80s, Merlin was huge. So then Merlin faded a bit. Um, Also in the 80s, later 80s, then we learn about the Cookie Crook and the Cookie Cop. This is somehow I remember from the late 80s, which is funny. That's right when I was born.
Yeah.
Um,
You came out just eating Cookie Crisp.
dude, Cookie Jarvis, the wizard, was joined by Cookie Crook, that robber, man.
Sketch.
Shout out.
They're up to some weird stuff.
Yeah. And then, like you were saying, Chip the dog came around in the 90s from 90 to 96.
Okay. Yep. Chip.
Cookie Crook was given a sidekick. So Chip the dog was the sidekick of the Cookie Crook.
Okay.
Well, I need the first name of the Cookie Crook.
This is deep cereal lore.
It is. And then later in the 2000s, 2005, along came Chip the Wolf,
Yep.
which I
Okay.
think is where they are now.
Yeah, the like gray wolf with the big spoon.
Dang.
Yeah, dude, nice. Good research.
Thanks, man. Great question. What about you?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Flintstones. And they
Mm.
sell multiple types of cereal. They got fruity
Mm.
cereal, they got chocolate cereal, the Pebbles. Uh I'm just proud of them for kind of branching out of the TV space. You know, they already like had a hit TV
Sure,
show, hit movies, and
man.
then they just kept franchising into cereal. You know, they're good businessmen, and it's, you know, it's good cereal. You get some like either fruity milk afterwards, some chocolate milk afterwards. Um, it gets soggy pretty fast, so I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the cereal, but I'm a fan of the Flintstones. I'm a fan of the Flintstones.
Dang, I like how quick you were with this. It was just like, seriously, Flintstones. Here's the reasons why.
I've had to answer this question before.
Nice, nice. I think it's really solid though, for sure, for sure. And their pebbles are delicious. I think the pebbles. This sort of leads into another question of like ranking, children's cereal almost. Like,
Sure.
what's your sugary cereal rank? And I think for me, Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles are up there. I think it has its downfalls, like you said. It gets a bit soggy fast. If you eat smaller bowls, it's better for the sog. But
Mm-hmm.
never been one to eat a small bowl of cereal.
Right? No, 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 no. It's always too big. You know.
I just grab the biggest bowl I have.
Uh-huh. Those are up there. I think they're in the top 10 for sure. But like I find myself eating like I'm a big peanut butter and chocolate fan, so I go for the Reese's Puffs. I think those are like my go-to. But I'm also a big fan of like I've always liked frosted mini wheats ever since I was a kid. I think just something about like compounded sugar. You know, it's not really like a typical cereal that I feel like kids are like drawn to, but I think that was like the sugariest cereal we had growing up. Like we wouldn't really go much more sugary than that unless we were like at, you know, a grandparents' house and they had those like little boxes of cereal, you know, the like little variety pack of cereals, and then it was like Apple Jacks and Fruit Loops and things like that. But
Yes, dude, the mini boxes of cereal. There was
mm,
something so good about that.
dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it
You
is.
know, it actually opened from the side, and you can make it into a bowl.
Yeah, it was like a little thing that opened, and then you could rip the bag open too and just pour the milk right in.
Right, right. I feel like we should almost get more into detail on this, like a mini box of cereal almost in the same proportions, and you could turn it on its side. Open the side of the box, open the bag, and pour in milk. That's crazy.
So smart, so smart.
Dang. Well, those are
Yeah.
responsible choices, dude. Frosted,
Yeah.
mi- mini, mini frosted wheat. I get it. Get it. Like, okay, okay.
You know, it was just, I think it was because we had it the most. It was like my favorite there. But Reese's Puffs is number one. Reese's Puffs is number
And
one, I
Reese's
think.
Puffs. That's I feel like that's a modern choice.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh yeah. What do you think your like top two, top three are?
yeah. I think for me, cinnamon toast crunch.
Mm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
there's something about it. It doesn't sog.
Classic.
It doesn't
Yeah.
sog that well. The flavor is good. You end up with the cinnamony, the cinnamon toast crunch milk at the end is
Mm-hmm.
pretty good. So I go there. I go there quite often.
Dude, have you
Uh,
seen that they do cinnamon toast crunch like bacon?
yes, cinnamon toast crunch is now a flavor as
Yeah, it's
well.
it's a little
So
it's a little weird. I'm sure
it's a
it's.
bit
I mean,
weird. It's cheapened the cereal in my opinion. Like the cereal when it wasn't everything flavored cinnamon toast crunch, I was like, cool, I'm getting it.
they
But
sold out a little bit.
they sold out a little bit. Now you can get cinnamon toast crunch everywhere. It's just I don't know. Yeah, cinnamon toast crunch, and then yeah, dude, I don't know the Flintstones, dude. Their pebbles, they're pretty good. I forget about them now that you bring them up. Those pebbles, the cocoa pebbles, I think is just something so good, so chocolatey.
That chocolate milk afterwards, dude. Like that
Man,
and like cocoa pebbles, like or cocoa pebbles and cocoa puffs. I feel like the milk after that so good.
this dude,
But also Cookie Crisp, man. It's just a bowl of cookies and milk. Like
it's a
that
bowl
is
of cookies and milk. Cookies Crisp is high up there. I was gonna say I don't think Cookie Crisp is like my favorite cereal ever because it's maybe slightly dry, right? Like
sure.
it's cookies in a bowl,
Yeah. Yeah. It's basically just like small Chips Ahoy's. Like
small
really
chips
small
always,
Chips
right?
Ahoy's, which are like good,
Dang,
but
I'm
they're not
hungry
even
now.
like the best. They're not even like the best store brand cookie, in my opinion. Like they're not
Right,
like,
right,
there's like a couple
right.
cookies unless they're the soft ones are good, but you're not getting a bowl of like soft Cookie Crisp.
Dang, imagine that. Like some fresh Cookie
Oh
Crisp
man.
fresh off the line. Oh my God.
You could probably do that. You could probably just like bake like little tiny, like chop a bunch of chocolate chips up into little tiny pieces and just make like some itty bitty like drops of cookie dough on there.
Man, is this what podcast material is?
I guess so. I
It's
guess so.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Shout out to the listeners. If you guys are listening or watching this, That's amazing. Tell us your favorite cereal. Comment your favorite cereal.
We want top three. We want top three.
Yeah.
Top three faves.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't really been eating too much cereal though. I feel I've been eating a lot of like granola and yogurt instead. You know.
Yeah, same. Same. I've cut out the cereal a bit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I feel like as an adult, it. I mean, I don't feel like I ever ate sugary cereal for actual breakfast, but it was like it was more of like a late night snack. You know, like a sneaky dessert.
Right, right. I think like a sugary bowl of cereal is almost ice cream adjacent. I eat
Totally.
that when I want to eat ice cream.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like deconstructed. You know, like
Yeah,
deconstructed ice cream, basically.
right, right. Like with a cone. Oh, dude, wow. Yeah, just in a different form. It's just the same ingredients of ice cream, just in a different form.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So yes, I'm not typically eating ice cream for breakfast, but I don't know. Sometimes I guess.
I've been there once or twice. You know?
Yeah.
I won't say never. I won't say never.
Right. Right.
Oh man. Oh, I did want to ask you this actually. I saw that you maybe this was a few weeks ago that you ate a ghost pepper.
But yeah.
What was that like? Was that the first time you've had one, or have you had them before? I know
Yeah.
you're a little bit of a spice lord. You know, we're fans of hot ones, so I know we've dabbled in those sauces before. But
Yeah, I grew some ghost peppers in the garden, and I've been streaming on TikTok and Heathrow's Garden on TikTok. If you guys want to check it out, uh, one of the people who watches me on live suggested that I grow some hot peppers. Shout out Carol. They were her hot peppers, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna grow these hot peppers, and when they're done, I'll eat one because I'd never really dabbled. And my philosophy around spice is like, what's the worst that could happen? Basically, I don't think no one has well, maybe this isn't true and I should have looked it up, but no one no one has like come to their end from eating hot peppers. So I was like, it's cool. I can just remember that and get on top of it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's basically what I did. It was definitely spicy, dude. The spiciest pepper I've ever eaten. Um, but that mindset just like carried me through it. I was just like, there's nothing bad that could happen. So it was really spicy, but I almost came out of my body and was just like, whatever, it'll be over soon.
for sure. This'll pass. This'll pass. Nice, nice. Just looked it up. No one's ever died from eating a ghost pepper.
You know, that's funny. I didn't actually look it up. I should have looked it up. But I had a feeling it was fine. And I ended up eating like 3 or 4.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I don't know if maybe mine weren't that spicy because they're grown here in Oregon. Like, you know, our weather
Not the
doesn't get super hot.
yeah.
Yeah, not the spiciest state,
Pretty
not the spiciest climate.
mild soil. You know, it's not. You know.
I think I planted them slightly late and they just didn't. I mean, they got big and they ripened, but no, it was easy peasy.
Nice.
Maybe that's something we should do later in the podcast is like eat something spicy
Some hot
together and
peppers. I think
see how it affects us.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Oh, I'm scared, but I'm down.
Nothing bad will happen to you.
Nothing bad has ever happened to anyone. Don't fact check this.
Just don't touch your eyes, don't touch your holes, you'll be fine.
Yeah, right. Eyes and holes.
Pretty much any orifices, just
Yeah.
steer clear of, you'll be good.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I was washing my hands a bunch and I wore gloves for a little bit, but then I realized the gloves are overkill. Just scrubbed my hands. Oh, and I have an awesome tip. If you're ever handling a hot pepper, you should wash your hands like you have motor oil on them, right? Because it leaves an oil.
Sure.
And so if you were to go to your kitchen sink and wash your hands and you had motor oil, you wouldn't just be like, cool, done. Like you're going to like work hard to like get that motor oil off with soap and water. So act as if you have motor oil on your hands when handling super hot peppers.
That's a good tip because you can't see it. It's not like dark,
Right. It doesn't
like
feel like motor oil. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it'll stick around like motor oil. You know, the things that I'm actually scared of are things like that blue chip challenge where it's like this spicy chip that you eat. And I've seen a lot of videos of those. And I just feel like the spice level there might be something like a whole nother stratosphere that I've never experienced. I don't think anything bad could happen there, but I just still haven't been there.
Yeah, because it's like a concentrated powder, right?
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Hmm.
It's a concentrated powder, so it's probably maybe equivalent to eating like multiple peppers, which I just don't know how many peppers I'm eating at once, kind of thing, and
Yeah.
it just gets a little bit, uh, just it's almost like it's almost like I don't know, like should I talk about drugs?
Right. I'm kind of like.
It's almost taking like a dose of mushrooms without knowing how much.
Sure.
So
Yes.
like,
Exactly.
sure, you'll probably be fine,
Right. Right.
but it could be an area you've never explored,
Totally. Totally.
and we
It's
might cut
like,
this out.
sure. Yeah.
I
Just
don't know.
go on our Patreon. But it is funny. It is like it. It's like if you have like a even like a concentrated like orange juice, is like sweeter because there's like more oranges in it, but it's also like needs chemicals or whatever to bind it together. And I feel like with whatever the powder is, or like something like the bomb, which is just like a constant, it's like pure peppers like concentrated together.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like it's like a science of spice. I'm not really trying to delve into too much.
Right, right. I think that's a great distinction. It's like the science of spice. Exactly. It's a scientific spice, which I just don't know. I've been all natural so far with like the, just like the straight peppers or just like normal hot sauce.
Hmm. You're
Nothing,
going for like
nothing manufactured.
nature's bounty. You're going for
Right,
nature's bounty. You're
right,
not going for like the lab
right,
produced thing.
right.
Which you could argue like a Carolina Reaper, I think, is a lab produced pepper, or is that I know like Pepper X is lab produced, but like I don't know if Carolina Reaper is. So it's like if it grows in nature, we'll try it, we'll do it, and then like maybe once we're comfortable there, then we'll blast off to new frontiers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. New
Not
spice
against it.
frontiers.
Yeah, yeah. Not against it, just not necessarily ready for it right off the bat.
Yeah.
But
Slight topic change. Did you
sure.
pay your art tax yet? What's your art tax situation? The city of Portland has an art tax. Oh no. You don't pay art tax, do you?
I don't. But I can speak to the art tax a little bit.
I'm staring at my art tax bill right now.
This is it $70?
No, I'm behind on it, so it's 120.
That's pretty low
I will really?
for compared to what mine was.
What was your art tax bill at, dude?
Well, I never paid it.
Nice. Okay, I'm
So
interested in this.
I got a notice maybe like 2 years ago that I owed like $580, and that 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 they were going to like start pressing chart. They were like going to come after me. Like
Sure,
collectors were going
they're
to
gonna
start
sue
coming
you.
after me because I was like, it's the art tax, like whatever, it's 70
Yeah, yeah,
bucks.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like, not, I wasn't working a high paying job when it started. I was actually working for like a nonprofit school organization. So I was like, whatever, it's fine. Like I don't have money to pay it. Nothing's going to happen. But then, like 8 years later, or, however long later it was, you know, boom. So we paid half of it. So I think I owe about like whatever it was, like 260, 240
Okay.
now or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's probably 280. So yeah,
So your
yeah,
account still exists.
I think so. Yeah, and I still need to pay, but I haven't received any more notifications about it. But um, yeah, yeah.
But I haven't paid mine either for a couple of years, so
Right. I have a feeling most people don't.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until I get some art, or at
Yeah.
least a newsletter or something.
You need some proof before you send the check in.
Here, let's see. What are they asking of me here? Yeah, no information on where to see the art, so hold.
Dude, they should just include like a QR code on your
Honestly,
bill.
I should reply. I should
Yeah.
email them here. Questions? Oh, they have a questions phone number, and just be like, "So, where is the art? Actually, I know this. I know this arts tax is. I pay it. I'm supposed to pay it, but which art? Which art is it?
Can you point it out to me?
Uh,
That's so funny. Imagine like I'm picturing people like walking around like certain parts of Portland with like headphones on, listening to like an art tax guided tour.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
And
Honestly,
yeah.
honestly.
Oh man, that's funny. You should do that. You should give them a call or shoot them an email and I want to know what they say.
Yeah. Okay.
Do other cities have art taxes?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I feel like you can vote on like levies every once in a while for like more funding for arts, performing arts, visual arts, like whatever it is in schools for resources for those things. But like I don't know about other cities and if they have, consistent taxes for those things.
Right. I bet it's wrapped into other taxes where maybe they don't like display it as prominently
Sure.
because it's for the public schools, right? I mean, it's for art in public schools. So maybe
Yeah.
they just lump it into public school funding and try to capture art. But I think maybe the idea here is that it's like really specific to art
Sure.
so that art isn't overlooked, maybe. But yeah, I think I took too many rips before I started this podcast.
Tight. Oh man, that's funny. I know. I haven't done any yet. I came straight from baby bedtime. A whole nother thing. He's really into saying things are his favorite these days. So like everything is his favorite. So I put some like 80s music on while we were at dinner because he's like started to dance and he started to dance. He goes, "This is my favorite," and I was like, This is 80s pop," and he goes, "Eight." He tried to say it. He's like 80s pop, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, yeah." You like Hall and Oates, and he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Cool, man, cool."
That's
Cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
This is my favorite.
He's like, "This is my favorite," and I'll put something on that he's like never heard before, and he'll be like, "This is my favorite." I'm like, "Cool,
Dude,
man."
that is cute as hell.
That's cool, man.
This is my favorite.
He'll eat something for the first time he's never had before. "This is my favorite." It's so funny.
Man, that must be awesome to like. I know talking to you, dad friends, you guys give me the sentiment of your kids just changing constantly,
Mm-hmm.
just growing and learning nonstop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I mean, like the biggest way I see it is with his like his emotions. Like he he's always been like super happy, super smiley, and he still definitely is. He's like always like trying to laugh or like trying to get somebody else to laugh, and it started to become like this mischievous thing. Like he always had a little bit of mischievous in him, but he's really started to like push people's buttons to make himself laugh, thinking that we're gonna laugh with him, and we're like, "No, man, like that hurts. Like don't do whatever you're doing." But he's also really like been finding like his like the sadness and things, like even if it's just like I wanted that rock in my pocket, but I took it out of my pocket and now it's in my hand and I can't get it back in my pocket,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. No,
you know,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
So it's wild to like watch him have like not necessarily have those emotions for the first time, but like process that he's like frustrated or angry or sad, and then being like, "Are you like you're feeling sad? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling frustrated?" And for him to be like, "Yeah," and be like, "Yeah, man, like that's what happens. Like how do we like either sit in this or like help ourselves, feel better? Like what do we do?" So he's learning with us, kind of, or we're learning with him, I should say.
Yeah,
But
dude, that is so cool. I feel like that's so cool of like parents of our generation, and I'm sure not just of our generation, just like taking the time to like notice how much their kid is changing, check in with them about their emotions, and like grapple and learn about emotions with them is I feel like something kind of new.
yeah, there's like a lot of talk in the parent space, like how are you gonna teach someone to regulate their emotions when you can't regulate your own? Right, which I feel like is like a pretty basic idea, right? Like I feel like that like makes sense, but then like I like to think about like people in our parents' generation. I don't, I think I don't want to say everybody, but I feel like a lot of folks our age or millennials probably got like yelled at by their parents every once in a while, uh, or worse, and it's just I think when I think about it as a relatively new dad, I think about like yeah, like if I'm struggling and I'm having like a hard time and I'm like, I would rather be doing this other thing than dealing with like you having this meltdown that to me seems like totally like what are we even sad about? You know, like you have all your favorite snacks, you're listening to your favorite song, you like just watch an hour of TV that I didn't even really want you to watch, and now you're like,
But The Rock, Dad, The Rock doesn't. It's out of my
dude,
pocket. It's in my hand,
exactly.
Dad. The Rock.
Like,
You don't.
like
You just don't understand The Rock.
right, right. Like you'll never understand. You'll never
Right,
understand
right, right.
because you've never had this rock in your pocket, you know? You
The
know?
fact that parents are taking time to be like, "Yo, I see you got a rock. I see it doesn't fit back in your pocket, and I can see how that could be painful."
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's. I think that's just such a small shift, but so
Hmm.
powerful to be able to
Yep.
let that child just be like, "Oh, cool. I can explore like I don't have to feel bad because I'm mad at the rock or mad at the situation. I can just like move through it and be like, oh, it's a rock in my hand, and maybe the rock's a little bit too big for my pocket,
Right, right,
or
right.
you know,
Or yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, totally.
whatever it is, right?
Totally.
Or you
It's
can,
interesting.
yeah.
It's
Oh, go ahead.
interesting too because it's like it like breaks it down to that like singular thing because like it doesn't matter like how many things they got that they liked before that or how many things they got they didn't like before that. It is like that individual moment that is setting
Yes,
them off for like that individual thing. So like you can sometimes it's really easy to just move on to the next thing, you know, like it doesn't even have to like be a happy thing that we necessarily do next. It just has to like be a new thing. So it's really easy to like, I think there's pros and cons to that too, right? It's like really easy to be like, cool, I want that as a parent, like I want this tantrum, I want this feeling that they're having to be over, so we're going to move to this next thing. uh but also like how long do you sit in a sad feeling, like how long do you let them sit there before you like teach them to try to like move past it? You know, it's like this weird balance where it's like, yeah, you're feeling sad, that happens, like you feel sad all the time, you
yeah,
feel
it's okay to
frustrated
feel
all the
sad.
time. You're gonna feel frustrated with me probably like for the next like 30 years of your life, right? Like that's probably
Yeah,
gonna be the case. But like there's that's gonna happen and you still have to like be sad doing something else, you know, like, or you're gonna have to like do that and you'll find another moment to like either sit in that sadness or it's gone, you know, and you can be happy or melancholy or whatever feeling comes next for you. But it's like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird trying to teach people how to like find and talk about their emotions when I'm also like, you know, like if you ask me why I'm feeling stressed, it's probably because I haven't eaten or slept well, you know, and
right,
it's, you know,
right.
and just need to like do the same thing I'm telling him to do, like take a couple deep breaths and like get on with it, you know, like on the next one, and you know, validate yourself and keep going.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's super awesome. I love seeing my dad friends grow and evolve with their children because I can learn from them too. Just and like watch you guys grow and learn these same things. I'm just like, whoa, we're all still like learning to like process our emotions and handle our emotions and deal with it. Especially I think especially men too, you know, just like it's okay to be sad. I think just recently I realized it's okay to be sad.
Yep.
But no, just like it's awesome to just see people, yeah, just like embracing their emotions more, especially dads. Shout
Yeah.
out dads, be emotional, be vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple of really good like content creators out there that do a lot of, you know, like dad, like there's a ton of parent content, there's a ton of mom content,
Yeah.
there's like a decent amount of dad content. Some I'm like really into and some I'm like you know, like all right, like I don't really sit with it, but I feel like that's true for pretty much
I
anything right
actually
now. But
I catch like a hint of parenting content just because I find it interesting and I think about you guys and I'm like, oh for sure. Like that's an interesting parenting concept or like not tons, but yeah, it's interesting to catch that some of that parenting philosophy because I can use it on my parents.
yeah. Yep. 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 Totally. Totally. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. I feel like there's a lot of what I learned being like a youth worker, like an educator, that I then used to have more productive conversations with my family or like my friends, you know. Uh Sometimes it works and sometimes it like totally backfires on me, but like for the most part it's just like how you show up in a conversation, which I feel like is true for all the things we've been talking, right? It's like how
Yeah.
you show up and how open you are to like working through whatever problem you're having, but also like like getting to know that person, because the better you know the person you're arguing with, the less conflict you'll potentially have in the future, or the faster you can resolve conflicts in the future. I say that as you and I have known our parents for 35 years, and still there's the things where it's like, man, I didn't know that, or I didn't think about this about you. If I like had this context, or be able to like calm myself down to think about this context for a moment, maybe I wouldn't have been so heated, or maybe I could have like put out the fire that you're feeling right now too. I don't know if that's just like a rant and a ramble, but it's something I've thought about before. But
That's what we're here for, man. That's a random ramble, which we call podcast material. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh,
It's true. It's true.
yeah. Oh man.
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Episode 2. We're into some family trauma.
Yeah. I mean, not even really, but
Not totally. We're hinting at it though. Okay.
yeah. I mean, we can leave it or not, but the like the generational stuff is really where I feel like it like really comes into play, right? If you like think about what your parents went through.
Yes, dude. Yes, that's such a good call out. Absolutely.
You think about what they went through, and then what their parents went through, and you can go as far back as you want, but then eventually stuff all kind of becomes it all really gets blurry, I feel like, after your grandparents. Like I know how I know how my mom's dad grew up, so it like gives me a little insight on, and I knew how her mom grew up, but I know how my dad's mom, whatever. But then I can't really go too far past that. But like it gives you, once you're able to like hear that outside of these people that you like personally know, and like try to envision it as like characters, and like think about it as like backs. That's how it helps for me, is to like if I'm like reading a book, or I'm watching a movie or a TV show, think about like these characters' motives, and like the traumas that happen to them during the story, and how that provides for like how they treat people or how they think about things. And I feel like grandparents, especially like grandparents, provide so much of like whatever happened to them happened to your parents, or they tried to alter it, and then whatever alterations they make then come streaming down to you. It's like what would happen if trickle down economics was like actually a thing.
Right. Yes.
But it's crazy to think about, because it gets a little deep, and you can't always get answers to the questions you want around like how your family was, or what happened to so and so.
Totally. It's such a good recognition, and I think it allows space for forgiveness for me. I think that fact of like recognizing that generational trauma, and then also just being like wanting to move forward from it a bit, and like not really holding anybody responsible, because you can't really.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a really good point.
And so trying not to hold people responsible, and trying not to carry too much anger, and then allowing room for forgiveness, and maybe allowing room for them to like forgive themselves a little bit and work on it. Cause I don't know, I kind of am met with a lot of like people not really wanting to acknowledge the way that we operate, or the way that we like can hurt each other. So right now it's just kind of best to just leave it alone, almost, just cause we don't want to like stir it up too much, but
sure.
That's pretty understandable as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's like a bad approach to things.
Yeah.
If you gotta like respect your peace, or like maintain your peace, and the best way to do that is by like not interacting for a little bit. I think that's fine. We can chat for a little bit more.
Yes.
Do you think everything you had to eat today?
Everything I had to eat today. Thank you for asking. This is how we end each episode.
We don't have to. I just think it's kind of like a fun way to do it.
I fucking love it.
Cool.
Also, are we cussing? Should we add some beeps?
We can add some beeps too. We can add some beeps.
Yeah. I'll try to be more chill as moving forward with the cussing.
I've been saying shit a lot too. So.
I know, shit and fuck. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
What is everything I ate today? Should I go first?
You went first last time, so I can go first.
Yeah, you go first. What's everything you ate today?
Okay. It's funny because I knew we were recording today, so I was like trying to remember.
Cheating.
It was a little cheat, but I didn't write it down because I felt like that'd be too much. So Uh, um, I ate kind of a lot today. I kind of like felt like crap today because I ate so much kind of trash. Um, for breakfast, I had half a everything bagel with butter on it because we're out of cream cheese, and it was our last. We give Elijah half a bagel, and so the only part of the bagel that was left was like this half of a bagel. So, so I had half a bagel with some butter and a cup of coffee with we got this oat milk with brown sugar in it from Trader Joe's. That's pretty good. We hadn't had it before, so it was a nice. We're into it. And then, dude, I made a lunch and I forgot it at home. But
Steak.
right. So got to work, had another cup of coffee, and then luckily I had brought some Trader Joe's tamales to put in the fridge last week. But we had lunch bought for us last Friday, so I just had them in the freezer. So I bought those, or I ate those, just kind of straight up the beef and cheese, and like Trader Joe's tamales are like okay, they're not great tamales by any means, but they're like
Right.
they did the trick. They did the trick.
Definitely.
And then I went to Wendy's, and yeah, it was good, but I definitely I got a biggie bag, right? So I got four piece nuggets, upgraded to medium fries, got a medium Dr Pepper and a junior bacon cheeseburger, and then I got another junior bacon cheeseburger, and I ate it all, and I was just like,
Yes.
oh, fuck.
Yes, dude. Yes, dude. The Wendy's gorge. I love it. I
Oh,
love it.
I went hard. I haven't had fast food in a while, or like that kind of fast food in a while. So I went kind of hard on it. It was tasty. It was tasty, but I immediately was like, this was too much. Uh, and then yeah, and then I came home and I didn't have like any water all day until I got home.
Classic.
So had a big glass of water, and then I think yeah. After that, I ate the sandwich that I forgot to bring with me to work today.
Nice.
So turkey sandwich with like salad greens, turkey sandwich, salad greens, mayo, mustard, sharp Tillamook cheese, and some pepperoncinis.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yum, dude.
yep, yep. And that was everything I've had so far. Yep.
Nice. Yeah. I was trying to remember like while we've been talking, and I think my days of eating are probably so much more boring than yours because I'm pretty much just I've said this before, I fast in the morning. So
Right.
typically like this morning we got an espresso machine for Christmas last year, and I love it. So I made an espresso drink. Today was just a straight up Americano. It was delicious.
Nice.
Espresso with some boiling water. Straightforward. Sip that for actually a couple hours. Do you ever do that? Do you ever have a coffee and you just like sit with it for a while? It goes cold. You come back to it, take a couple drinks, it goes cold, just even more. So I drank my first coffee over 2 hours.
Nice. Nice.
Then what else? We've actually been grocery shopping a bunch, and I went to Costco recently.
Nice.
So I had some bread I had to eat, some baguettes. So I made a baguette sandwich. Super good with like we have these sausages. I grilled up a few sausages, put them on a sandwich with some Havarti
Mm,
and a little mustard. Just really good. Just
that
grilled
sounds
sandwich. Just like
that sounds
a
dank.
quick pan sandwich.
Yeah.
Really good.
Did you like press the bread, or was it just like open baguette, grilled
Yeah,
sausages and cheese in it?
exactly, dude. I've been pressing the bread, not like panini style necessarily, but I've
Sure.
been using another cast iron actually to just like set on whatever I'm cooking.
Yep.
So I had my sausages going in the cast iron, put another cast iron on top of them to sort of like smash the sausages a bit. And I
Yeah.
cut the sausages in half too. So it was like half sausages. Oh man, I'm starting to get hungry again.
Sounds really good. I'm getting hungry too.
Right. So yeah, smash the sausages a bit. And then once the sausages were pretty much cooked, put the whole like French loaf, put the whole like French baguette cut in half, put the sausages on it, the cheese, the mustard, smushed it together, and then pressed the whole sandwich in the pan. Actually, with a tiny bit of water too, because the baguette was like a little bit crusty.
Sure.
So I just tossed in a little bit of water to steam it a little bit,
Sounds like a bomb sandwich.
and it was really good. I should go make another one after this, actually.
Hell yeah.
But man, we've been on this Costco run, so then a bunch of other snacks today. We did a Costco stock up not too long ago, so we ended up with like dark chocolate covered macadamia nuts.
Okay.
Been snacking on a fair amount of those today. We got the Cool Ranch Doritos, a bowl of Cool Ranch Doritos on the table. Just walk by, just quick Cool Ranch
Nice.
Dorito every now and then. What else? I think that's about it. A nice grilled sandwich and some Costco snacks.
Nice. That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Hell yeah. And constant bubbly water. I think I'm addicted to bubbly water. It's a problem.
I would say you definitely drink, I think, more bubbly water than anyone I know, for sure. It's definitely something that just like, but you know, like it helps you drink more water, I think. So it's like,
I do drink a fair amount of water. I do feel fairly hydrated throughout the day, but it's like a bubbly.
nice.
Hydrated on that
bubbly. You seem bubbly.
It's just like, oh man, thanks, man. Thanks, bud.
Oh yeah. Nice, dude. I feel like we should at some point talk about our favorite Costco snacks.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
feel
we
like
got to get
that would be a good one.
a go-to Costco snack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we can save that one for later.
Let me just add it to the idea list. I got a little idea list. What else do we need to do? What other notes do I have here? We need to create profile pictures and podcast art. Profile picture is just one. You think it's a logo?
Yeah,
it's a logo.
Logo or I feel like
I think you're right though. I think you're right. Create a logo.
Yeah.
Like a podcast logo.
Yeah, and then we
podcast material podcast. It cracks me up.
Dude, well, I went to podcastmaterial.com and it's definitely like somebody just like bought it and is keeping it, because it's definitely just like some like generic like garbage up there.
Right. I think it even says like buy this website.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's like, do you want material for your podcast? Buy this website and
do you want material for your podcast?
Yeah.
Are people going to reach out to us to be like, hey, I need material for my podcast?
You guys sell mics, right?
Sorry, we're using it.
This is all we got. This is all we got.
You have to listen to the podcast for the podcast material.
That's right. We don't even know what we have until it's out.
We don't even know what we have until it's out. Honestly, we don't even know how to release these episodes. We've never released an episode yet.
True.
Although, I think that's breaking the illusion of
we're professionals. We're professionals.
Okay.
We've been doing this a long time.
Yo, so did you know that the software here records on both tracks? So if I talk over you or if you talk over me, we can eliminate it super easily.
Yeah, I realized that actually in the edit you sent. I was like, "Oh, cool! It doesn't sound like my squeaky chair or like I'm like talking over it all." It's dope.
It is dope, and we can remember that too. Like when I accidentally talk over you, I've been like, "Oh, sorry," like
for sure.
But we really don't have to, because I can just talk straight over you, and it won't matter. I can just mute myself.
That's tight, because I feel like I was like we were doing it. Like I feel like I was doing it to you a little bit at a couple points, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like. But that's cool. I kind of thought that might be the case, because I noticed in the edit you can like single out one person's camera at a time, and so I kind of had a feeling that it was probably also true for the audio too. Yeah,
exactly.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. You should play with it now that it's in our joint account if you want. I'll start the edit. But okay, one more question, and maybe we can end.
Yeah.
Or we should end. Okay. How do you feel about the involvement of AI in our podcast? And the main reason I ask right now is because the software we're actually using has all of these AI features, and some of them are editing features. So AI editing features that make editing seamless, but I know that like AI is sort of maybe something you're not like super comfortable with.
Yeah, it is complicated, because I know that it's like super, super helpful, but also like I've heard a lot of things that say that like AI, and I did do a little bit of research, but it's funny because most of the research I did from Google then turned out to be like AI, like, you know, like Google AI like brought up all the information about why AI is is like bad for the environment, you know? So I was like, fuck. So, Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm like totally against it. I think for things like maybe with editing or things like that, when there's not necessarily like, or we're not, like we don't have enough experience to really do it ourselves yet, as efficiently. I feel like, if it's gonna make like a little clip easier or like a little sound editing easier, I think that's cool. I think for things like our logos, or if we want to get a theme song, like I feel like we know folks that could like create that stuff for us. So I think for like images and artwork, and even like I said, like even like music or something that we need, like I think we both have lots of friends, or I've got a couple of friends that are musicians that could, if I ask them for like, cool, like I'll like riff on my guitar for 30 seconds and then you can clip what you want, and maybe I'll like find some way to trade them for something, you know but I feel like if we can do it ourselves, it would be cool to like source that out before we go to AI. But I also know that it can be super helpful, and I know that you are like a technology lover. Like I know that like you love
Yes.
tech that can like make your life easier, and so like I wanna respect that, and also like I do want to be wary of our footprint with the how much AI we're using, because yeah, I don't remember exactly what the stat was, but I did see some like crazy stat about specifically how much water it takes to like use, like to create one image. It's a crazy amount. So, at least according to the things I read.
Yeah. No, for sure. I That's part of the reason we've had these discussions in the past a little bit about AI and some of the like just some of the news around it and some of the impacts of it. So yeah, I think that's why I wanted to bring it up because I know where you feel, and I love that about our relationship is like we can just like bring up topics like this and uh yeah, just have open discussions. And even though like I don't think our opinions really differ that much on AI, I really believe that AI isn't great at art, and it should be left to artists and people who like are great at it, at least where we're at right now. And I don't want to see that human element go away of like everything in the internet is just like this like AI infinite loop that is just like repeating itself, and it's really dystopian actually. And the energy use around it, energy usage around it for sure is like something to be considered and all that. So and I agree with you too. So it's like, yeah, I think the thing that I would want to use it for on this podcast is taking out all the silences, the ums and ahs. It's really interesting. It's like it's editing work that I really don't enjoy doing, and I can just do it at the click of a button, and it's
Yep.
great.
Yep. Yep.
Um, so yeah, as far as like content that we provide that we'll be providing, like it won't be AI generated. I don't think it should be. And there's even options for like AI, like to copy our voice in AI, so we
Oh,
could
whoa.
change what we say, which I don't think we should do. Like I really don't want to go there because it's dystopian in my mind.
Yeah, and it kind of defeats the purpose of like why we have the podcast in general, right? Is like
Yeah, yeah.
we want to like say the things that are like on our minds, or like or say like I feel like I say things a lot without even really like necessarily like having the thought before I say it, and so I think that's part of this, right? Is like we can say like to say a silly thing, or like say a thing that's not fully thought out, and then to like talk about it together, right? And I feel like if
Exactly.
we're using AI to like change what we say, then like I don't like the idea of it like having my voice and being able to like yeah.
Same,
Dystopian.
dude.
Dystopian's
It
the word for
feels
sure.
dystopian, right? Just to
Yeah.
like feed this. Anyway, I think we could do a whole podcast on this actually, like the topic of AI and like where we see this going, but it's heavy a bit. So, anyway,
Yeah. Bottom line is I'm down with using it for like the editing process. I think
awesome, dude.
until maybe we get a little bit more used to it, and or we figure out a flow between us of kind of divvying up the editing process. I'm down to use it for a little bit and feel okay about it.
Chill.
Yeah,
Dope.
yeah.
I'm glad to
Thanks
bring
for
it up.
thanks for asking.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Check. AI, nothing creative, just mundane tasks that we don't want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Sick, dude.
Um. Speaking of kind of like mundane, random tasks, do you watch Severance?
Do not watch Severance.
Okay, okay. I won't recommend it to you.
Okay.
Because well, like it's really good. It's like my favorite show right now. But I
Okay.
know that sometimes I recommend like the content, and it's like I know you kind of absorb like TV content specifically a little bit differently than I do. So I don't want to like suggest it to you and then hope that you'll like
I
soak it
absorb
in.
I absorb TV content differently than you do. This is
you
true though. This is
right
true.
right 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 like
I think I absorb TV content differently than anybody.
I don't know if that I don't think it's different than
Maybe not
anybody.
true.
I think you need a very specific type uh of content to like draw you in, And I think,
Yeah.
like from
Jesus.
being your friend and like
I
sharing
was gonna say you're a great friend.
like like sharing the like when we've talked about content, it's usually stuff that's like really suspenseful that you like, or something that like is really drawing your attention, like I feel like the shows that I like know that you've watched have always been kind of like suspenseful or like thriller-ish shows. Like you like the classic comedies, like I know you like The Office, and I know like you've watched Parks and Rec, but like I think like like
Breaking Bad or
Breaking Bad. I know Game of Thrones you watched.
Game of Thrones is interesting to me, and like game shows like Alone
Mm-hmm.
and Survivor.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
so yeah, I think you're kind of right. Like some suspense or
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Which is kind of where Severance falls. So if you watch the first episode or two and you like it, like if because I don't know if you know what it's about, but it's like
oh,
it.
no, I really don't.
Okay, do you mind? Can I give you just like a brief
Yeah.
synopsis of
So
it? Okay,
are you recommending it to me?
I guess so. I guess so. I guess so. I guess I am. I guess I am. But I'm not putting. I'm not putting. I'm not. I'm not putting. I don't want to put too much like stock in it. Like I'm not. I'm not. In, I think that you'll like. I think that if you watch it, you like it. But I don't want to get invested in you liking it until I know that you like it. If that
Totally,
makes
I
sense.
fully understand, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to promise to watch it, but if I do watch it, I will let you know.
Tight, 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 tight. And I won't ask you about it again. Okay, so it's a show that's created and directed by Ben Stiller. So it's like
I know Ben
it's
Stiller.
yep. It's kind of got like a funny undertone to it. But then it's Adam Scott is the main guy, and he plays oh damn, I'm forgetting his name, but he plays Leslie Knope's husband um on Parks and Rec. So if
Got it.
that yeah. So
Yep. Adam Scott. Okay.
and then there's a couple different like Christopher Walken shows up as kind of like a random character in it too. So there's a couple of people that you might recognize in it. Um, but the idea is that it's there's a company that has created this procedure where they can install a chip in your brain that would fully separate your memory. So you'd essentially be two separate people from when you're at work and your home life. So when you're at work, you have no idea who you are or what you do or like or anything about yourself in your non-work life. And then when you're outside of work, you don't know anything about what's happening in work or like what you do or who you are, any of that. So it's kind of this like play on corporations and capitalism kind of together. But then there's all this mystery in what Adam Scott is an employee for this company, and uh you learn in the pilot that like they don't even know what they do, right? They're like doing a thing that's kind of like clouded and mysterious,
Hmm.
and they're kind of okay with that because they don't really know what's going on in the outside world. And then the people in the outside world don't know what's happening, like they don't know what they're doing inside. It's a cool kind of like thriller conceptual thing. So it's a fun watch, and the second season just started.
Nice, dude.
So it's on Apple TV. I don't know if you have access to that, but
Mm, yes,
so,
I do have I do have access to Apple now. Actually, one of the few that we have access left to. We've canceled a few. We've canceled Hulu and Netflix. I think now.
oh
Yeah,
damn,
Netflix and Hulu canceled.
that's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I heard they just
Uh,
raised their prices again. Netflix did, so a lot of people are like kind of pissed and planning to jump.
sure. We're sort of beholden to Apple a little bit because we have the iPhones and all like the whole like monthly charge is like all
Sure,
bundled in one.
sure.
But sick, dude. Yeah, that does sound like it would be right up my alley. You definitely know me pretty well as far as like what I would like. So And I think I actually saw a clip of them filming like in like a glass box.
Yeah, they did a little promo.
Okay, so yeah, I saw a little clip of that that popped up on my radar.
Yeah, yeah. They do like a companion podcast too that I've been listening to. It's like Ben Stiller
Oh, nice.
and Adam Scott, and it's cool. You know, they're just like breaking down the episodes and like talking about the work that went into creating it. It's and like they're both they're both like come from comedy, so they're both. It's like a pretty funny podcast. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Sick.
Anyways, shout out Ben Stiller, Adam Scott, big fans.
Hell yeah.
But
I know you guys too. I don't know you guys that well, but I know you too.
yeah.
I'm so bad with celebrities and TV
Sure.
and like all that. You know that about me. So you're like, you know Ben Stiller, right?
Yeah.
I know Ben Stiller pretty well. I don't have his number or anything, but
Sure. Oh, sorry. He's FaceTiming me right now.
Oh, for sure. It's all good. We should probably end anyway.
Yeah, I gotta take this. I can't reject him twice in a row, you know. Man, did we have an outro, like a real outro last time, or we just were like, this is podcast material?
Dude, I have no idea, dude.
Do you want to do? I did the intro. I don't know if you want to do some kind of outro. I don't want to just put it on you, but something just like,
dude, I love this. I think, yeah, everybody, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Podcast Material. This has been it.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around. Stay tuned.
See you guys next time. Bye.